before Islam reshaped Arabia, before Mecca became the spiritual heart of a new civilization, before revelation pierced the silence of a desert night. Arabia was already alive, alive with pride, alive with rivalry, alive with poetry, alive with gods carved from stone. This was not an empty desert waiting for history. It was a world of tribes bound by blood, where honor outweighed life, where loyalty meant survival, and where vengeance could last generations. 360 idols stood around a sacred sanctuary in Mecca, each one representing a tribe, a belief, a power. To understand what changed in the 7th century, we must first understand the Arabia that existed before Islam. This is the story of its origins, its rise, its conflicts, its cultural peak, its quiet unraveling, and the legacy it left behind. The Arabian Peninsula is vast, a land of extreme beauty and extreme brutality. Endless dunes, jagged mountains, empty horizons stretching beyond sight. The Rub al-Khali, the empty quarter, is one of the harshest deserts on earth, a place where survival demands discipline, patience, resilience. And yet, humans have lived here for thousands of years. By around 2000 BCE, organized settlements appeared across southern Arabia. These were Semitic-speaking peoples, ancestors of the Arabs. In central Arabia, life required movement. Tribes traveled with camels across open desert, carrying tents, water skins, weapons. The tribe, the Qabila, was everything. It gave identity, protection, justice. There was no empire here, no centralized authority, only blood loyalty. If one member was harmed, the entire tribe responded. This created strength, but it also created endless cycles of revenge. While Central Arabia remained tribal, the South developed differently. In modern Yemen, kingdoms rose. One of the most famous was Saba. Around 1200 BCE, Saba controlled the incense trade. Frankincense and myrrh, sacred resins burned in temples across Egypt and Rome, passed through Arabian hands. Wealth moved through desert routes. Then came a turning point, the construction of the Marib Dam, an engineering marvel of the ancient world. Water was captured, fields turned green, cities expanded. Southern Arabia flourished, caravans traveled north toward the Levant, ships crossed the Red Sea. Trade linked Arabia to India, Persia, Africa. But prosperity did not bring unity. Arabia remained divided. By the first centuries before and after the Common Era, tribal society defined Arabia. 4 values shaped life: honor, hospitality, protection, revenge. Honor was sacred. To lose honor was worse than death. Hospitality was duty, even toward strangers. Protection meant defending one's people at any cost. And revenge ensured that blood was answered with blood. Wars could last decades. But leadership was not automatic. A chief led through courage, generosity, wisdom. Authority had to be earned. Then, in the 5th century, CE, a settlement in Western Arabia began to rise. Mecca, positioned along caravan routes connecting Yemen to Syria, the tribe of Quraysh gained control. A leader named Qusay ibn Kilab unified its clans and established authorities over the Kaaba. The Kaaba had long been a sanctuary. Now it became central. Pilgrimage brought people. People brought trade. Trade brought wealth. 2 great journeys defined the economy. Winter to Yemen, summer to Syria. Mecca prospered. But prosperity would create imbalance. And imbalance would shape what came next. Arabia did not exist in isolation. To the west stood the Byzantine Empire. To the east stood the Sasanian Persian Empire. Arab tribes aligned themselves with these powers. The Ghassanids with Byzantium, the Lakhmids with Persia. Arabia became a buffer zone, a land influenced but not controlled. Religiously, the peninsula was diverse. Polytheism dominated. Each tribe often had its own deity. Hubal, Al-Lat, Al-Uzza, Manat. Idols filled the Kaaba. But monotheism was present too. Jewish tribes lived in Yathrib. Christian communities flourished in Najran. Ideas crossed deserts just as caravans did. Around 609 CE, a symbolic event shook the region. The Battle of Dhu Qar. Arab tribes defeated a Persian force. For the first time, Arabs overcame a major empire in open battle. Confidence rose, but unity did not follow. At peak, the 6th century became a cultural golden age. This was the age of poetry. Poetry was memory. Poetry was power. Poetry was reputation. A gifted poet could immortalize a tribe. Markets like Ukaz hosted competitions. Crowds gathered to hear recitations. Language reached remarkable sophistication. Arabic became precise, expressive, beautiful. This linguistic refinement would later carry extraordinary significance. Economically, Mecca thrived. Merchants expanded influence. Caravans multiplied. But wealth accumulated unevenly. Elite clans grew powerful. Slavery was widespread. Orphans often lacked protection. In some tribes, daughters were buried out of fear of poverty or shame. Alcohol flowed. Gambling flourished. Outwardly, Arabia seemed vibrant. Inwardly, it was fractured. And beneath the poetry, beneath the trade, beneath the pride, questions were beginning to form. Around 570 CE, the Marib Dam collapsed. Southern agriculture weakened, communities scattered. Political fragmentation intensified. Tribal feuds continued. There was no unified law, no shared authority, only tradition, only tribe. Exposure to Judaism and Christianity introduced new moral frameworks. Some individuals rejected idols entirely. They were called Hanifs. They sought one God. They sought meaning beyond tribe. Arabia stood at a threshold, prosperous yet unstable, culturally brilliant yet morally divided. Legacy by 610 CE. Arabia was ready, though it did not know it. Its language had reached poetic perfection. Its trade routes connected continents. Its people were disciplined by desert life. But unity was missing. Honor codes maintained order, but not justice for all. Blood loyalty preserved identity, but not peace. Spiritual searching had begun, but answers remained uncertain. And in a cave outside Mecca, a man from Quraysh withdrew into solitude. The desert was silent. The night was still. The world that had existed for centuries was about to change. To understand that transformation, you must remember the world that came before it. Fade to black.